Alright, gonna pick this back up where we left off. Alright, so you guys get it figured out yet? I'm gonna refresh my chat. Alright, I want you guys to let me know if you have it figured out. I said this is working for the most part. We have our struct. We're getting the correct meshes. We're setting the mesh to none by doing it this way, so that actually works. We just need to know when we're doing our switching, if you're picking up from where we are here, we have two sample objects we're using as guns. They look horrible, I know, whatever. But we're doing one, we're doing two, we're doing one, and it's making it go away. The whole point was to have a weapon visible. We hit the number 1 key again to make it become invisible. We hit the number 2 key, we want to bring the other one visible, and then hit it again to make it go away. But what's happening is whenever I make this one visible, I hit the number 2 key, make that one visible, hit the number 1 key, when I go back to my primary weapon again, you know, it's just making it invisible. So I'd have to double hit the button to be able to get it to become visible again. So what's happening is the flip-flop is causing us to have an issue. We're setting it to, we've created a new variable to say that we're setting this gun visible or not. So we'll set that one there. Even though I didn't have that one selected, that's not the issue because we're not checking that variable just yet. But I'll show you just 1, 2, 1 again is none. So I have to hit 1 again to make it visible. But if I go to number 2 again, it should just go right to number 2, but it's not. It's going to the not visible state, and then I have to hit 2 again to make it visible. So where do we need to go? What do we need to do to fix this little small issue? It is a minor little hiccup that will cause your players who are playing your game to absolutely go apeshit. Oh my god, this is so stupid, why can't you fix this? Well, let's fix it. We're setting the skeletal mesh and we're telling it that it's a visible gun at this point. The box gun is visible. So what if we did another branch node in between on the flip-flop? From there, we need to ask a series of questions. But I want you guys to give me the answers on this. The whole point with this whole 2 videos now is to get you guys engaged in the problem to come up with a solution. I want you guys to think about the problem, follow along as we're going, and actually create the solution yourself. And that's the whole point of this. I could sit here and like, oh, okay, well, this is the problem, and fix it and be done with it. And if I just sit there and say, okay, this is what you do, okay, thanks, and that's it, just tell you how to do it, then you're not going to learn. So I want you to engage your brains and figure out what's doing what and how we can tell it to do it correctly. Because if we just did this right here and ask a branch, come over here off of B, we'll do a branch, and we need to assign what that branch is going to be about. Is the box gun or the cylinder gun visible? So we'll grab that and we'll put that in here. Is the cylinder gun visible? If true, then we're setting it to that. Is that going to resolve any of our issue? And again, all we did was we created a branch node, and we're asking a question here of, is the box gun visible? Is the box gun visible I'm saying no, this is not going to fix the problem. Okay, so if we hit play, we go in here and grab both of our guns, hit number 1, hit number 2, hit number 1 again. It didn't fix our problem. Hit number 2 again. Problem is not fixed. So that wasn't the answer. So what exactly is this? Is A. So let's take a look at that, see if we can figure that out. I've never actually done that before. I've never seen it before. We're going to put this back to where we had it before, because we know this was pseudo working. So this is unchanged. This is back to where it was before. So, is A what? Well, we can connect it to there. But what does that do? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, see, that didn't help that. So what does is A do? Is A come on, bud. Fill me in here. Tell me what we need to fix. Because, like I said, this is kind of working. Is box gun visible? We'll make that true again. So, what are we missing out on? What can we do to tell it that this is what we're doing here? We're setting our skeletal mesh to one or the other. Okay. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Is I need your brain thinking. You know what the problem is? The flip-flop is telling it that it's a current constant state, and that flip-flop is recording. Essentially, I have hit the number 1 key 1 time. We need to reset that flip-flop. Somehow we need to say, okay, at this point the cylinder gun is visible. Okay, so what we need to do is, we know that if the cylinder gun is visible when we hit the number 1 key, well, I want you to keep thinking about it. Break down the problem. What is the problem? What is the solution? Okay, so how do you reset the flip-flop? How do you make sure that this right here is always going to be relevant? Okay, so we need to make sure that when we hit that flip-flop, we need to reset it somehow to where, or set it to where it checks to see if the cylinder gun is visible. We need to change that flip-flop around. We need something that'll do the same function as a flip-flop, but reset itself at each time. If we add a branch before, so we're asking, is cylinder gun visible? So if we put it in right here, and if true, then set the skeletal mesh. So we tried that once before. So let's actually go ahead and put it in up here. We'll put in a branch, and we're just going to set the true to the flip-flop, and the true from here to here, and then the condition we need to ask is cylinder gun visible. So if cylinder gun is visible, then do this. Okay, else what do we do? Do we need to do anything off the faults? If the cylinder gun is not visible, then do we need to do anything at all? So I'll just, for the sake of it right now, I'll throw another branch node in here, and we're going to ask, is the box gun visible? So we're doing just the opposite, and then we're going to connect the true and true here. So we'll compile and save. Now I'm going to go over and grab both the guns. Hit number 1, nothing happens. Hit number 2, nothing happens. Hit number 1 1,000 times, nothing happens. 2, nothing happens. So it's asking, is that visible? Well, is visible. Let's actually, for right now, let's take out the flip-flop. Let's move this branch over here. Is the box gun visible? If it is, then we're going to set it to that. Is that what we want to do? If it is not visible, then no matter what, we need to set that skeletal mesh to be our new cylinder gun. We need our mesh to be that new gun. So is box gun visible? That needs to go to there. So whether it's visible or not, it needs to work. But what if we did, if it's false, then go to there. If it's that, go to that. But one way or the other, we need to make sure that we're setting that. But we also need to make sure that we're setting it to none if we hit it again. So if we don't have it, then what? We can connect that to there. Because we need that thing to change back and forth. So we want to make sure that if the cylinder gun is not visible, we've got to have another branch in. So we'll try this. So one way or the other, it should 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's fine. It's changing our mesh back and forth. But now we need to be able to toggle. Wait a minute. Toggle. So let's break both of these. Let's move this over here. What about a toggle? Could we do toggle? Toggle primary weapon. Well, we don't need that. We could have just come off of this. So if we toggle our active, then let's actually break that and break that. And if we have it, we're going to toggle it to this. Well, toggle is like toggle it back and forth between something. So when we hit the key for number 1, if we have the gun picked up, then we need to be able to toggle it, right? So yes, let's toggle our active to this skeletal mesh. Okay. The visible, we haven't done anything with those just yet, but that's going to toggle by hitting the number 1 key. So toggle it to this or this. Is that going to work? We may have a problem here. So we set 1, 1, 1, 1. It's not doing anything. So it's not letting us put it away. So we're not setting it to 0. Toggle our active, and then we can try a branch node from there. We need to be able to toggle it from this to this. So let's go in here. Let's push it back some. Let's add in a branch node. And we need to ask, is our box gun visible? So if the box gun is visible, then if it is visible and we want to toggle it to say no, that we have nothing there. If we don't have it visible, then we want it to become visible. So we're going to try this with the box gun and see what happens now. We're going to hit play, come over here, grab the box gun, hit 1, hit 1, hit 1, hit 1. So it's toggling it back and forth, right? So we know that works. So let's go ahead and let's dump these guys. Let's make this look like that. So we're going to drag these out to the side, get us some room to work with. And what we did here was toggle, and let's actually come from our primary weapon. Let's do toggle active. Okay. See, I wanted you to find it, but you know, it's all right. You're also learning a new feature here, so we're going to add some more functionality in there as well, because this is going to get us close, but it's not going to be 100% fixed just yet. So what we did here was we added a branch node in here, right? And then from that branch node, we were asking the question, is this gun visible? So we're grabbing cylinder gun visible. If it is visible, then we want to tell it to go away. If it's not, we need to make that come into play. So we hit that, and we're still setting our visibility states. So now if we come in here and we grab both guns, I grab 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, and we're back to the same problem again. So if you hit 1 again, it becomes visible. Hit number 2 again, it becomes invisible. Hit 2 again, and it works. So, but we're closer by using it this way, because what we can do now is add on a branch. No, we're closer to solving the problem than we were before. So what we're doing here is we're doing the same functionality as the flip-flop, but we're using it in a toggle method. So, okay, is the cylinder gun visible? Yes. Then we're going to make that go away. Okay, well, let's go back up here to the top one. Let's go from this. So the box gun. Is the box gun visible? No. Well, then make it visible, dumbass. So we want, number 1, we want to make that gun visible by hitting the number 1 key. Right? So that's the most important factor. We hit the number 1 key and we want that to be visible. No matter what. It is always going to happen. If we hit the number 1 key, it should always be make this gun visible. Unless it's already visible and then we want to make it invisible. Right? This is a function I've seen in plenty of games. So we're there. We're right there at the cusp of it. So we hit the number 1 key and we're asking, do we have the box gun? Yes. Okay, if we have it, then is it already visible? Yes. Well, then make the damn thing go away. Is when we hit the number 1 key, is the cylinder gun visible? Shouldn't we ask that? So if it's visible, we need a branch here, So we need to ask, is the cylinder gun visible? But where do we need to put this branch to make this still work perfectly? Do we need to do it off of the true or the false? Off of this right here. If the box gun is visible, then we're making gun go away. If it is not visible, then we need to ask, is the cylinder gun visible? If it's true, then we can go here. If it is not true, well, hell, we still need it to be true, right? Yes, no? Because the whole point is, no matter what's visible, we need to set on this right here, this branch needs to say, do it. We still need to toggle active. So what if we actually took this and put it somewhere else? We know that's going to do the correct way. Do we need to put this branch back here maybe before the toggle? Because if the cylinder gun is our active weapon, then we need to make that go away. So we need to actually have both of these here pretty much at the same spot. Right? We're telling it to toggle our active. So if the cylinder gun is the one that's actually active, then we need it to go here as well. We have to set our skeletal mesh. Well, pretty much so. I mean, if I drag this to here, it breaks that link. Is there a way that we can connect both of these together? There is, but I'm asking you. So we definitely need to be asking, is the box gun visible? We need to know, is the cylinder gun visible? Aha, a sequence node. So what if we took these guys, and this looks confusing as shit here, so let's actually come in here and try a sequencer to run a sequence, and then 0 goes here, and then 1 goes here, go here. So we need to make sure that our questions are being answered correctly here. Is the cycle gun visible, or cylinder gun, cylinder, cycle, whatever, the cylinder gun, is the cylinder gun visible? If the answer is yes, then make this visible. If it is not visible, then it still needs to go there anyway. But is our box gun visible? No, then make it visible. Is it yes, then make it invisible. So here's our conundrum. Is we're asking this, is the cylinder gun visible? Yes. Well, change it any damn way. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and try to copy this in here the same way we were doing. So we have both of them on the same page here. So we're going to add a sequence. And our then one is still set up. So we're actually going to drop that down to here. Connect this to then 1. Then 0, we need to go ahead and do a branch. That was connected down here, so it might be something we also need to look at. And we need to have our, is the cylinder gun visible? Is the box gun visible? So we're asking here then, is the box gun visible? Yes, then set the skeletal mesh to that. If it is not visible, then it doesn't really freaking matter. So is a cycle gun visible? It is. Well, make it invisible. It is not? Okay, well then make it visible. So that in theory breaks up things, and well, is it going to work? What do you think? We got both. I hit the number 1 key, it works. Number 2 key, it just made my gun disappear. Hit the number 2 key and nothing's happening. 1 key and I can cycle between it. So we've screwed up a link somewhere. Is the box gun visible? I'm going to drag these down a little bit so we can see them. We knew that this one was working. This is the new one that we added in. We were right there, so okay. So is the cycle gun visible? Yes, then set the skeletal mesh. If not, then let's come down to here and ask that same question. So let's go from the false node to here, and what will that do? So now I'm going to come over here and grab both my guns. I'm going to hit 1, nothing happens. Hit 2, nothing happens. And we just broke every damn thing. So but we are close to having the correct solution to all this. Is the box gun visible? We're going to go back to this question. Is the box gun visible? It is. Then set the skeletal mesh to that. If it is not, then what if we came back to here? We just have to know what questions to ask and when to ask them. Ooh, I just totally killed it. Yep, call stack, infinite loop. So yeah, it just created an infinite loop, and UE4 doesn't like infinite loops. So we have to ask, what do we do if the answer is no to this? Well, we're basing it off of we just hit the number 2 key. This isn't an event tick. This is not going to constantly be checking. It's only going to check whenever we hit the number 1 or number 2 key. So if we hit this, it's going to go through here, and then it's going to set that. If it's in false mode, what happens to there is we know that this part right here works. The is cycle gun visible? We know this works. But it's when we are trying to deal with the box gun, the opposite weapon. We knew that we had a working system, but it was just not able to completely cycle between the two. And we need to figure out that part of it. Because if on the first one we hit the number 1 key, we need to ask that question. If it is visible, then we need to change it to this one. This is changing it to the box gun. This one is changing it to nothing. This one is changing it to cylinder gun. This is changing it to nothing. So it's got to ask, if we are asking, is the cylinder gun visible? It is. Then go ahead and do that. That's just, we don't really even need that because it should work no matter what. So in theory, this is a pointless endeavor of this and this. I'm going to delete it for right now, because what we're already asking is the box gun visible? Yeah. But here's the thing, is we need to have some way of forcing it to, no matter what, we're changing it to this. unless it's already visible, right? So without the sequence node in there, what we're doing is we're asking, and let's actually move this. We need to toggle that active. We're toggling it between the two. So that was a relevant thing of asking, is the box gun visible? So we have to ask that question. Is this gun already visible? If it is, then turn it off. If it is not, then turn it on. So that's good to go. That works. So we know that this is going to tell it to come on or off, and it's going to set the visibility state of it. So is the box gun visible? Yes. So now we're good to go. So here's what we can think about is that's working, and we got rid of this, and we just reconnected that. And let's actually, is cylinder gun visible? Okay, now just bear with me here. Still hoping you'll pick up on this. Okay, so we're back to normal here, where we're telling it to toggle the active. We're good on that. We're good on this. And now we have these guys here, right? Come on, we're right there. We're at the finish line. We're like seconds away from finishing up this whole thing, and you having a positive idea on an aha moment. I want you to get that aha moment. We are setting all this. We are like, So if we're checking to see if the box gun is visible, and if it's not visible, we're making it visible, shouldn't we also be telling the cylinder gun to no longer be visible? And the same thing down here is, shouldn't we be telling the box gun to no longer be visible? We don't want it to be visible at that point. We're close to showing this. So, aha, see, the wheels are turning in your head a little bit right there. We need to make it visible here. We're turning it on by doing this. We're setting it in an on state, but we need to turn off the cylinder gun. Even though, in theory, what was happening is it was working, is when we did this, and we hit it again, it goes away. 1 works perfectly. I hit 2, and right now nothing is happening because, let's go ahead and break that, because we're going to fix that. Alright, so got both of our weapons. Hit number 1, perfect. Hit it again, perfect. It goes away. Hit number 2, and nothing is happening. Totally broke everything. Cylinder gun, cylinder gun, cylinder gun. Oh, yeah. You need to go away. You need to go away. Completely. So, we're there, but we need to make sure we're turning off the functionality. 1 is cycling back and forth, and 2 is broken again. What did I break? Oh, yeah. So we're asking true goes to here, and false goes to here. Sorry, I just did not reconnect that the right way. That was my bad. But you get the point. Is we need to tell it to, okay, 1's fine, 2 is fine, 2, 1, and it didn't work. So 1, now it works. So hit 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, So we are really close. Really close. Is after we set this gun to be visible, or before we set that to be visible, either one, we need to tell the other one to not be visible. We have the reference here, box gun and cylinder gun. We have that extra little spot we can work with right there. Come on, give me that aha moment. I want to hear it. What do we need to do with this? Yeah, you got to know what to do with this. Come on, we got this right here. We're toggling our active. If this is the truth, so if we throw this branch node here, and if cylinder gun is visible, what's happened here? If cylinder gun is box gun is visible, yeah, we got the branch there. So we're looking at how that one was set up. So if cylinder gun, we're getting there. We're almost there. So skeletal mesh. If cylinder gun is visible, then we still need to do that. We still need to set our skeletal mesh to that. Where does that fit in, though? We tried a sequence node before, but did we have the sequence node in the right place? Yeah, so if we're telling the if the cylinder gun is active, then we need to turn it off and turn it to this, and it should, in theory, be working just fine no matter what. Because there's an issue right here in this area. Okay, primary weapon is being toggled to either of these two. It's going to toggle the weapon based on that. So if the primary weapon reads through here and says the box gun is visible, and I can't connect this to there because it'll break that link. So, and if we did a sequence node here in between, which, you know, I'll just go ahead and drag this out. We tried the sequence node before. So if we have a sequence, it's going to go both ways here, and it's going to ask both of these questions at the same time when we hit the number 1 key. Is the cylinder gun... Sweet, John. Good deal. If we put the flip-flop back in, well, that's what we're trying to do, is avoid the flip-flop. Because the flip-flop was actually being our problem. So if the cylinder gun is visible, then we need to set the skeletal mesh to the box gun. If it is not visible, then what do we care about? Is that going to solve our problem? Alright, so we also have to set cylinder gun visible to false, right? So if we drag that out, and then set cylinder gun visible to false. So now it's going to turn off the visibility of that one. So whatever it does ask, is the cylinder gun visible? Yes, then set it to not visible, and then go ahead and change our skeletal mesh to the box gun. If it's not visible, who gives a shit? Then it still needs to set that to that anyway, but that's being done by this one. So let's actually take a look at that and see if we can do both of them the same way. What we did was added in a sequence node between the branch. Right, so we added a sequence in here. Alright, so with that sequence node, we then asked of that, and then we had the other one. So we're connecting that off of then one. And we're asking, is the box gun visible? And I'm just going to move these around, try to get this looking a little bit neater so it's easier to follow along. And then if the box gun is visible, we need to set box gun visible to false, and then set our skeletal mesh to the cylinder gun. So what do you think? Is that going to fix our problem, or do we still need to keep banging our heads against the wall? 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Problem solved. See, I wanted you to come to that conclusion, though. But that fixed our problem. I hit the number 1 key, the weapon's visible. If I hit the number 2 key, the number 2 gun's visible. Hit the number 2 key again, it's not visible. Hit the number 1 key, it makes our number 1 visible. Hit our number 2 key, it makes our number 2 key visible. If I hit the number 1 key again, it goes back to there. I hit it again, and it goes away. It's just that easy. It's just a matter of asking the right questions at the right time, and you got it. So what I'll do is I'm going to neaten this up a little bit more, and I am going to package this up, even though you should have been following along as we've been doing this. But honestly speaking, this was not that difficult of a project. But the whole point was I was trying to get audience participation, or precipitation, either one, rain down some thoughts on what was going on here. But if you want me to, I will package this and you can study it. I will put a link in Discord and the public lobby for anybody who wants to grab it and take a look at it. So now we actually have, let's go ahead and save it, a working system for when you see the weapons. Okay, if I hit 1 and 2 all day long, nothing freaking happens. If I pick up only the box gun and I hit the number 2 key, nothing happens. Hit the number 1 key, it cycles. I hit the number 2 key, nothing happens. But if I hit the number 1 key again, it puts that gun away. So now if I hit 2, it makes the number 2 gun visible. If I hit the number 1, it makes the number 1 visible. Hit number 1 again, it makes that invisible. And I hit number 2, it brings it up. This works 100% perfectly. No, the whole point was just to get the weapon switching correctly. But yes, we can actually set it up to be multiplayer. So this works 110% perfectly, even though the guns look like crap, and it wasn't the whole point of this exercise. Was, and let's go ahead and I'm going to comment this. and I am going to hit the C key and set primary weapon to box gun. And I'm going to do this C, and I'm going to set primary weapon to cylinder gun. So you can see that that's what that is. This stuff right here, the set game mode only, the weapon pickup junk, we don't even need that. That wasn't even necessary. So I'm going to actually go in here and I'm going to remove that because it's not even being used. So all we have here is our function for setting our game mode to the correct game mode. So we lose our mouse cursor bug. And we have our weapon cycling between number 1 and number 2. And what I'm going to do here is mouse input to me is an input, and let's actually make the inputs a yellow color, and input again yellow. Jump is an action, so let's make action a red color, and this is an action, but it's a weapon action, so we're actually going to make this blue just as something to stand out. And we can do the same thing. So you can change your colors of your commented blocks so that you can actually quickly know, okay, jump, it's an action. This is our begin play. Let's actually go ahead and comment that, and we're going to call this begin play. Not plan, but begin play. And we're going to put this as, we'll make this green. So we know that that's whatever. So as you're looking through, you know that you're looking for an action. Actions are red, so you can scroll into that. Oh, okay, jump, that's the one that I need. Or inputs are yellow, so that, and you know, blue is going to be whatever. By setting yourself a little bit of pre-thought and setting up this stuff right here. But I didn't want you to just sit there and watch a video and say, oh, this is how you do it, and just copy. I wanted your brain to be engaged the whole way through to see what's going on here and learn as we go. Yeah, if you only pick up one of the guns, it works just fine. So if you come over here and only pick up the cylinder gun, that's the number 2 key, and it will cycle that back and forth, no problem. But if you hit the number 1 key, which is the box gun, nothing happens at all, because I haven't picked up that box gun over there. I don't have that weapon yet. But now, if I come over here and pick it up, then I can hit 1 and it works. Hit 2. So I hit 1, 1, 2, 2. I'm sorry, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. See, everything is flawless. Everything is working perfectly. So it'll only work, those buttons will only work if you actually have them in your status. Because what happens is we actually took the, we didn't use our enum at all. We used our structure, but not our enum. Whenever you're actually setting 2 different blueprints. You've got one blueprint is your actual item on your map, and the other item, the other blueprint is the actual pickup item. So your version you see in the map is a static mesh. The version you see on your character is a skeletal mesh. So you'll have both a static mesh and a skeletal mesh. And whenever you're doing this, there's absolutely nothing in here. There's nothing in the pickup version, but and the version that's laying on the ground in the map, all it does is it casts to the third-person character and sets it as that. Now, if you're wanting to do multiplayer, this is where you're going to have to make some changes, because you need to actually go a different route for setting up your multiplayer. So that person if we're all three inside that map running around, if John picks up the box gun, then right now it's just set to cast a third-person character. So every damn third-person character in the game is going to automatically have the box gun. So that may be something you want to do, but most cases, no, that's not. So you'd want to do this a little bit different way. But for single player, this works perfectly. So just wanted to get that example rolling. And I'm going to do a save all. And I'm going to do this so that I can package it up in a way. And this is for 419. So, you know, sorry, I do everything in 419. Package project. Come down here to zip up project. And I'm going to do it this way. And I'm actually going to put it in a temporary location on my UE4 drive. I actually need to go ahead and just name this drive UE4 drive instead of just F drive or 4 or whatever. I can give it a unique name. Instead of storage drive, just call it Unreal Engine 4 or some kind of bullshit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I are going to call this switch. No, you anus monkey. Delete. Go to hell. Go to hell. I clicked on you. Right click. New folder, and we gonna call this switch tutorial. Alright, so and the project name is going to be switching. It's just going to package everything up into a zip file. I can now go into here, go to that switching folder that I created. Then it's right there. This is going to be a horrible upload and download. It's 21 megabytes. Sorry, it's going to take you forever to get it, but oh well. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will upload that, and I will link that into the public lobby of the Discord channel. So go right ahead and grab that, and yeah, I'll let you have fun with it. Yeah, I know, it's too huge of a damn download file, 21 freaking megabytes. It's going to take hours with my freaking AT&T to upload it. So, yeah, actually probably upload it right now while I'm streaming. I'm sure it'll do lovely things to my stream. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull that off screen, just because I might have like my donkey porn hidden on my Google Drive account. I don't want you guys to have access to that. Hey, what happens between a man, a woman, a donkey, and a midget in the privacy of their own home is entirely up to them. So, file upload, storage, switching tutorial, open. So yeah, the FPS of this, actually we're kicking along at 30 FPS, which is not bad, but we're in 720p. So I'm going to let this run. It's going to take, oh, God, like 3 minutes, well, since I'm streaming right now, to finish uploading. Hey, donkeys need love too. Just not by me. 56K, you big money shit right there. I'm still on my 300 baud on my TRS-80 color computer. So I'm done with this. I'm actually going to close this down. And I'm going to minimize that down, and I'm going to empty my recycling bin. We got the whole whopping 2 minutes left on the upload, and I will make sure that is linked in my public lobby of the Discord channel. And I'm actually going to eat something because it is 9 p.m. and I have not eaten anything all day long but a couple cookies. I know that's not good for my girlish figure and everything, but whatever. I'll have the link posted here in just a second, and you guys can download it, take a look at it, see exactly what I did to make that work, poke through it, reverse engineer it, rub your genitals on it, whatever. I'm going to throw out one more thing for people that are watching this after the fact that I mentioned in the other video is while I am streaming, if you wish to make a donation, then there's a link in the description, one that goes to the Streamlabs location that will still go through, and I will still get it, and they don't take anything out of it. It filters through, and it actually puts a I don't know if this will actually show up on the stream, but this I have a test button that I can hit, and
oh my God, I'm so excited. I wish I could wet my pants.
So if you guys could see that, that actually would pop up whenever somebody makes a donation, and if somebody subscribes, that happens. So if you want that notification to pop up while the stream is going on, then go ahead and do the link through Streamlabs to make a donation, and it'll cause the thing here. Let me trigger it one more time.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I wish I could wet my pants.
So that'll come up whenever you actually make a donation while I'm streaming, if you use the Streamlabs link. If you don't want that to pop up, you want to be anonymous whenever you post it in there, then you can just go directly to the paypal.me and send donations that way. So that's actually finished downloading already, so I'm going to grab the link. And again, I'm not going to post it here on the video description or anything. I'm only going to put that in my Discord channel. So if you're not a member of my Discord channel, then yeah, shame on you. So, link copied, and I am posting the link right now. And I'm going to end this stream. You got enough out of my butt, so look through it. If you have any questions, ask me in the question and answers portion, or if you're on my dev team, then you can ask me in the developers lounge. Or if your name is John Galt, then you know, yeah, you actually had an official title. If you quit leaving the server and rejoining the server, you can keep that title and be able to post more links and stuff. Alright, anyway, I don't want to pick on everybody too much, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. That's about 3 hours worth of work just to do something that would have taken me 15 minutes. But, yeah, get the idea. I just want to make sure everybody was engaging their brains and learning something new. And I'm learning that it's time for me to go make some dinner. I think I'm going to nuke a pizza or burn it in the oven, either one, and throw about 4 pounds of extra cheese on it. So, alright, I'm done, and catch up with me on Discord, and I'll fill you in on any other questions you got. We'll see you on the next video, and take care.